What's up, everyone? I'm the nostalgic book potato. Today I'm revealing some bookish confessions. I posted this on my Instagram, so follow me there if you want more bookish content. So these are my confessions. Bookish confession number 1. I mentioned this in my summer TBR video, but the year is halfway over and I still haven't read anything on my TBR. I'm a mood reader through and through, so it's hard to stick to a TBR. Also, I've been in a bit of a slump since Butcher and Blackbird, and the only thing that really got me out of the slump was reading the rest of the ruinous love trilogy. Because I flew through my signed copy of Leather and Lark and speed listened to Scythe and Sparrow. I'm hoping my summer TBR will help get me back on track for completing my 25 for 2025 TBR. I think the first one I'm going to try to tackle is 7 Days in June. Because June is already almost over, and I feel like it would be a crime to not have read this in June. Bookish confession number 2. If I start loving a digital book enough to buy a physical copy, I end up leaving it unfinished. And what I mean by this is sometimes I'll read the Kindle sample or be listening to an audiobook and get to a point where I know I'll love it and go ahead and buy the physical copy. But then kind of forget about it or lose the feeling of urgency to finish it. And yeah, I'll leave it unfinished. This happened when I listened to Love Theoretically and King of Wrath. I know I will love both of these. They're by two of my favorite authors. And I was loving the books up until I stopped reading. And I got pretty far through them. But yeah, I think, again, this is a mood reader problem. Also, I mentioned this in my summer TBR video, but I read the sample for Malibu Rising and then bought it and forgot about it. Yeah, bought it and forgot it seems to be a chronic problem. Bookish confession number 3. I'll invest in a series before even reading the first book. Often this happens because I just randomly happen to pick up the second or fourth book in a series and end up inadvertently committing to the whole series before even reading the first book. I picked up Something Rotten by Jasper fforde years ago and have been very, very slowly accumulating the Thursday Next series. This recently happened with John Dies at the End by Pargin. I had bought the fourth book because of the cool cover and title, then bought the first book because I figured I should start there, then bam! The rest of the series went on sale at Book Outlet. Use my referral link to save $5, and now I have the whole series, plus 2 of the Zoey Ashe books. Something similar happened with the Witchlands series. I found the second book at Dollar Tree, of all places, and it sounded cool, so I bought the rest of the series from Book Outlet. Sometimes I'll invest in a series if I trust in someone's recommendation enough, like the Remnant, Chronicles and Dance of Thieves duology by Pearson, which are 2 series that are part of the same universe. Remnant Chronicles was highly recommended by Murphy, and Dance of Thieves was recommended by Carrie, who had read this duology first and loved it, and then later realized that it's actually the second series to the Remnant Chronicles, and then read that and loved it. So I had to get these books. So if you're wondering, what could these books be about that got me to invest in the whole series before even reading the first book? Well, let me tell you. The first 2 series are for people who like kooky, kind of absurdist humor. The Thursday Next series is about a girl who's part of a magical bureau that deals with literary crimes, like if a character from a book somehow gets on the loose and causes trouble or something like that. And it follows her misadventures through literary hijinks. It's very much a book for book lovers. There's lots of literary references. And yeah, I love a book about books and bookish things, so I had to have it. John Dies at the End is about 2 guys who are kind of tasked with saving the world, but they're just 2 clueless dudes, so it sounds like it'll be a weird sci-fi comedy of errors. The Zoey Ashe series is by the same author and is also a sci-fi, kind of dystopian with lots of weird humor. As we all know, I'm a self-professed weirdo, so yeah. The back cover says, nightmarish villains with superhuman enhancements, an all-seeing social network that tracks your every move, mysterious smooth-talking power players who lurk behind the scenes, a young woman from the trailer park, and her very smelly cat. Together, they will decide the future of mankind. Honestly, had me at smelly cat and the cat on the cover. The next two series are YA fantasies. First is the Witchlands series. I found the second book, Windwitch, at Dollar Tree. It sounded cool, so I snapped up the rest from Book Outlet. The first book is Truthwitch. In this world, there are different kinds of witches that have different powers. Truth witches are rare, and the villain is a blood witch who wants to use one of the main characters, who is a truth witch, for nefarious purposes. There's also a war brewing, so it sounds like a very epic fantasy. The Remnant Chronicles is about a princess who is betrothed to a prince. It's an arranged marriage that she adamantly doesn't want, so she runs away. But then runs into the prince that she's supposed to marry, and also an assassin who's supposed to kill her. But the three of them end up going on these adventures together, so I don't know how that'll work out. The spin-off series, Dance of Thieves, is set in the same world, but some years later. It's about a thief and the head of an outlaw family. There seems to be some politicking and deception, maybe an enemies to lovers situation, so of course I'm here for it. Bookish confession number 4. I never give books ratings. I'm not a fan of the 5-star system. A little while ago, for my in-person book club with my high school friends, we read Just for the Summer, and a friend asked everyone, how they rated the book. So I had to rate it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I liked it, but had some qualms with it. Mostly that it was too long. Even though I enjoyed it enough to read it in 2 sittings, it was too long. So yeah, I feel like a rating out of 10 is a better system, because it allows for more nuance. Like, 3 out of 5 can mean so many different things. But a 5 out of 10 versus a 6 or a 7 has totally different connotations. And I get that most review leaving options only allow for 5-star ratings. But still, you can talk about things in terms of being out of 10. But yeah, just personally, I've never been in the habit of rating books after I read them. Usually because I have pretty nuanced feelings about a book. Like, I'll like it, but the writing's not great. Or there were plot points that I had problems with. Or something that I can critique. But often, I still love things that I have critiques on, so it's hard for me to give something a rating. Like, a lot of my top-tier favorite books that I love so much, sometimes I have a hard time saying they're 5-star books. Because I can acknowledge their flaws. Which, that's the kind of definition of true love. Loving something or someone despite their flaws. So yeah, it's hard to do a rating because you have to think about the quality versus how it made you feel versus how strongly I just connected with it on a personal level. So I don't like ratings. I feel like I just base things on my feelings. Whether or not I recommend something, I'll usually tailor the recommendation to someone or give caveats like, these parts are good, I think you'll like it because of this, beware of these qualms. So yeah, I don't know if I've read anything that I can truly say I had no qualms with. Like, Butcher and Blackbird was pretty close. My main qualm with it was that in the third act breakup, he didn't need to be so mean. Like, if he really just wanted her to, get out of there, he could have gone about it differently. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just too picky. I don't know. I just have a lot of complicated feelings about things. Okay, so my last bookish confession, I just spent $50 on bookish stickers, which is a lot. But I got a lot of stickers, and I freaking love stickers. Have since I was a kid. Those Sandy Lion sticker days, ugh, so great. But I'm one of those people who doesn't like to use them. I think they're too pretty to use. Yeah, I'm one of those. If you're guilty of any of these or have your own bookish confessions, let me know in the comments. Okay, bye! If If you're still here, leave the praying hands emoji. Thanks!